right. Fantastic. Okay. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to this next level marketing call. If you're watching this live, put a 5 in the chat. If you're watching on replay, let us know as well too. And the reason why you're on here today is because you had somebody tell you that there is a unique opportunity to be able to build something significant and to build something substantial and of impact and to change your life, change your family's life. In fact, if that's why you're here today, you would like some type of positive financial change in your life, put a me in the chat below, because in the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to go over that exactly. And what's great about today, it's not me that's going over it. I have a good friend, hilarious dude, living legend, like literally, Mr. Greg Tedrow with us, who's fresh off the boat from Japan. Mr. Greg, I'll have you say hi real quick, do an intro, bring you back up again. But Greg, how are you, man?
James, I am fantastic. As you said, I just got off the boat. Well, it's been 2 nights that I got home, and I'm doing awesome. I'm excited to be here with you and your team. One of my most favorite developments that we've experienced since we became PartnerCo is that we all kind of forgot about the lines of sponsorship. Yeah. We blurred them, we got rid of them, we threw them out the window, and we are locked and loaded, working together, and the results are phenomenal. And so I'm so happy to be here with James and your team and many of your leaders who I've met before. It's just fun to be with you here tonight, and I look forward to sharing whatever I can with you guys to help you in your journey with PartnerCo.
An absolute honor. Man, guys, this is one you want to have a notepad and a pen out, because one thing I've learned early on is that if you want to be successful in life, get around people that have been there and done that. Just glean from them. And Greg has so much experience, and I just got to share personally. So this is a gentleman that has built a business that's been up for 20, 30 years. This is a person that has been here, stood the test of time. This is a person that understands residual income, leveraged income, global business. Who here would want, by the way, to have a business that can pay you well, but also give you the time to be with your family and have fun with them as well too? That's what this guy does. What I admire about Greg, besides his business acumen, he is a family man. I got a chance, and we were just hanging out in Bahamas, and to see him around his wife, his amazing kids, just seeing him being a dad, like that brought so much joy to me. And also, this was us out there in Bahamas, genius. This guy, I just learned so much when I'm around him. And also, I'm a little bit of a fanboy. You know, he makes me feel really tall every time I'm around him as well too, and everything, and just a lot of fun. But we're going to introduce you to a concept called PartnerCo. If you're not familiar with it, is a company that is led by incredible people, Darren and John. If you haven't had a chance to meet them or hear their stories, around a year or so ago, they took some legacy brands, brought them together, and built something that is going to be a multi-billion-dollar giant. It's a company that is in 50+ countries. Greg was just in Japan helping to launch that market, literally. But before we go into the future, I think it's important to cover the past, because if we can learn from history and look towards the future together, that's how we can truly be able to change some things up. And Greg, you have a fascinating background because you actually know John. We'll cover that in a very personal way. But let's go all the way to the beginning, Greg. Now people know you as this incredible entrepreneur, amazing leader, and everything. But was that who Greg Tedrow was before?
So before, James, I was just a college kid when going to school. And I was not, in fact, there was a class in my, that's in my business program called entrepreneurialism. And I saw that class, and it scared me. And it scared me because I didn't know I didn't know if I could do something like that. Because entrepreneurial is pretty, you're out on your own, you're working, you're creating, you're building relationships. It just seemed so foreign to me as a typical college student. But then I had a mentor, and that's the key. We all want to surround ourselves with people that bring us to a higher level. And I had a mentor who ended up being one of my, well, he was my uncle, so I already loved him, but he ended up being one of my favorite people in the world. He inspired me. He inspired me to look at entrepreneurialism. He inspired me to look at network marketing. And that's kind of where I shifted. That's where I went. So this was back in 1998. This was at the very beginning. I started with a company called Morinda. If you've heard of Tahitian noni juice, we went from Morinda to Tahitian noni International, and we changed our name. We were a little schizophrenic, went back to Morinda. But I was part of the team that opened the Japan market back in 1998. And that was a crazy thing to do. I was 25 years old, and I'd been out of, I had a 2-year hiatus in my college, so I was just getting graduated, and I was part of this brand new company. And it was a company that was successful in the US, and it had seen some hyper growth in the US, but it was just brand new. And I ended up going to Japan with our current owner, John Wadsworth, who was my buddy at the time. And we just started the Tahitian noni market in Japan with a huge dream and a vision of creating a legacy business that had residual income. Now, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I had no formal training in network marketing. I barely understood the compensation plan. I had this is 98, guys. This is a long time ago. James was still not even born yet. I don't know if James was born yet. But, I'm just kidding. But we had photocopies of poorly translated information about Tahitian noni juice, and we just hit the ground, and we just knew this juice was incredible and it would transform lives. And that speaks to our broader catalog. We've got other products in our catalog right now that transforms lives too, but that turned out to be the key to my success and to what now is a 25-year-old business. Wow. Where I'm getting commission through groups that I built 25 years ago, where they are ordering noni juice every month for 25 years. That is residual income. That is our goal in this industry and in what we're doing here. So I don't know, James, I'm starting to wander a bit. You got to guide me.
So good. I would be remiss if we had one of the originals of noni without talking to you about what noni is and why it's been so significant. Because let's all think about this, right? Like, think about what we really want. Who here wants a multi-generational business? You want a legacy business that you can retire from, you can actually pass on to your kids and your grandkids, where you actually get paid over and over and over again, right? Like, we hear about these things. And I just want to encourage everyone, like, there's so much stuff out there these days, especially with the internet, but you want to find something that you can build once and still be able to benefit. So we have living testimony here. You don't see many opportunities like that. So what's about this juice in particular? There's a lot of stuff out there, Greg. There's a lot of juices. Why noni still today?
Well, it produces results. It genuinely produces results, and people have an emotional or a personal experience with the product. And when that happens, and we've seen this with Renew, we've seen this with some of our other products that we have today with PartnerCo, but once you've had that personal experience, or transformation, we like to call it's game over. Like, that's a customer for life. I'm a customer for life. That's powerful. And it is a core piece to what we do as networkers. We are transforming lives and helping people and we are sharing these products that are incredible, that can transform lives. And so once you have that faith and that confidence that you know this product worked for you, it's really easy to share with others that you care about. Now, I shouldn't say it that way. It's not ever easy to share it, but you have that confidence that you can share it, and that the confidence that they too can have a similar transformation that you've had. That type of repetition going on in your group is, anybody can do it. Doesn't have to be a super powerful salesperson. We had a focus of building slowly. We built with a goal of subscription, customer base, brand partner, and we built an organization of people that we wanted to last forever. And so we knew that we were product based. We also had a great opportunity at the time. It's a little bit old. Now we've got it renewed with PartnerCo and our new compensation plan, which is amazing. So that'll come later. But my experience was 25 years ago. I didn't need to be a pro to be successful. I didn't have to have formal training or a degree. You know, I laugh because I went to Japan to do my noni business, and I hadn't graduated yet. I had one class to go.
Wow.
And I thought, oh, I'll get to that. Obviously, I'll finish that. And my group started growing, and I started getting commission checks, and I started doing really well. And I kind of forgot about that class. It's like I didn't. How did that degree? I'm not downplaying degrees, by the way. They're important. But I kind of laughed because I thought, I didn't have to have a degree to do this. Anybody can do this. Now, my mom did call me 6 months later and say, if you don't finish that degree, you will die. And so I did finish the degree, and she's like, if it's not for you, do it for me. And so I did finish it and got my degree in economics. But yeah, it was this products that transform lives is the key. We're in the business of transforming lives.
Who here loves transforming lives, by the way? Put a me in the comments if you see that, right? These are tips. When I listen to someone like you, Greg, like I'm picking up the patterns, I'm picking up the nuggets. I'm like, the focus, what I used to think is people get in business and the ones that succeed are just money hungry. But the reality is, no, those tend not to do well in the long run. They're obsessed about people, right? And if you can find something to legitimately help people and continue to do that, success follows. Correct. And I know you're super, super humble as well too, but when you launched Noni in Japan, 2 years or so, what did that start? It was literally from scratch. Tell us some of the things that you did in the beginning, and then what did that actually become in those couple of years? Okay, so when John and I, and there were a few others with us, there was a guy named Chris who went there with us, another guy named Chad. So it was a group of 4 that we all spoke Japanese. We all had the same dream. We started, and we just knew that hard work goes through, and will, eventually hard work wins out. And so we worked. We went and we spoke to everyone we could find. And this is a story that I've told a million times, but we started just talking to people on the streets. We would go to health food stores in Japan with cards of, pictures of noni, saying, hey, have you ever heard about noni? And we'd talk to them, and we would try to sell bottles of noni juice to them. And we did sell some. We approached all of our old friends that were Japanese. I had lived in Japan prior as a volunteer for my church. Had a lot of friends there. None of them wanted to join with me in the business. They all thought I was doing something a little sketchy. They didn't know. They didn't understand the industry. And you run into that. Every one of us here has run into that. So we didn't have anybody immediately that was going to work with us, but we just kept working, and eventually we got through, and we started to get testimonials coming in. Some of the smartest things we did was we approached networkers from other companies that were not top leader types, not full timers, but those that we knew, and through networking others, that
so-and-so, he's working with a company called New Scan. He might be interested. We started networking through to
Mm,
those who kind of knew what networking was. And
mm,
they understood if they were, the smart ones, I should say, they understood what we had and they saw the opportunity that we were offering. And they aligned with us in our values. They aligned with us in the product mattered. Like James, like you said, some are out there just to make a quick buck. And I honestly, I have a hard time blaming them because that's another way to do this. That's not the way we wanted to do it. Um, but they saw the value of what we were offering. They knew we had a real product. We had ownership at the time. This is Mirinda back in the old days, but we had committed ownership. We had a great compensation plan, and so they jumped aboard. And those leaders right now are now some of them. Those once small leaders are the most powerful leaders we have on our team in Japan right now, still making great commissions 25 years later, along with the rest of us. And so it was a long process, though. It took a long time. It took months of working. I mean, we would wake up and go talk to people, not come home until that night,
yeah.
and we just didn't stop. And we loved it. It was fun. We had fun with it. We were competitive. We
Mm.
had I don't know if this is too much information. We had these little clickers where you
Huh.
could count the number of people you talked to. And so we would get on the trains where there's millions of people in Tokyo. And so we're just talking to whoever looked like they would be, if we could get our name card, that was a win. So we would collect name cards, and then make phone calls at night and see if they'd meet with us. And every once in a while, someone would say they'd meet with us and we were excited. But ultimately, what we were doing, though it didn't seem that effective, we were fine tuning
Mm.
our approach. We were fine tuning what mattered to us and how we could convey what this opportunity truly is. And once we started getting in front of these other networkers, it started to resonate. And then it was, and it was all a rocket ship from that point on.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, how big did the organization get in those first couple of years?
so the most impressive number I think that we use is we started in August of '98.
Yeah.
And we formally opened with this was before the company was even formally there, and their office opened in the following year, '99 in February.
Mm.
And so we had a good 5 months of really, the first couple of months were pretty scary, but after that third month, things started happening, and we ended up with a group of 5,000.
Whoa. So you started in August.
Yes.
5 months later, you had
Mhm.
5,000.
Yes. So this is abnormal. This is abnormal. This does not. I mean, I was so naive at the time. I'm like, oh, great. No, this does not happen normally, and it probably will never happen for me again. And that's okay. But what it did demonstrate is the power of this industry, the power of network marketing, the power of when you have a product that actually generates results for people.
Mm.
We brought in some good leaders. So we did definitely tap into some existing networks after a few months.
Mm.
Um, like I said, we didn't have an office there. So we had our own little fax machine in a home that we were, this crappy little home that we were living in. And we would get faxed applications every night, couple, 100, 120, 100. And we're like, all day we're doing meetings. Then at night we're like filing these faxes and sending them to the home office in the US. And then they're like, we had this whole process going. We brought in noni juice through, we made somehow we had some guy that was shipping noni juice for us that ended up not doing it great. So we had problems all over the place, but yet the excitement of what we were doing
Mm.
was amazing. And there was momentum. There was faith in the product. We were there working with everybody. And it ended up working. And
Wow.
so we continued to run super hard for the next couple of years in Japan. We did really well. And we were able to expand and go work into Korea. We expanded into Europe. Mainly Japan is my main group, but I do have other groups. But anyway, that was then. That's what happened. That was 25 years ago. And like I said earlier, that work is still paying today, and that's the goal. That's what we're doing.
That's the key. I got to break this apart. I believe with what you just shared, there's going to be two types of people. And the first type is this. I hear that and they say, that's hard. The other gets slapped in a positive way, saying like, no wonder why I'm not successful as much as I want to. And what Greg just shared is what I believe, especially right now, because we're now, and I'll ask you about this in a bit, because we're in a different time now, right? Like we have internet, we have social media, we have so many different cool things, but it's the ethic, it's the intention, it's that mind state, it's that willingness, no matter what, like that's bootstraps, like from literally ground floor opportunity that you're hearing right there. But it's what's required of success, massive success, right? Who here, once again, wants a business that can pay you decades from now and your people, your children, your children's decades from now, right? So many times we say, oh, it'd be nice to have 5,000 people. It'd be nice to have a legacy business. But so many times we're not willing to do what it takes to get there, right? And I love what you also said here too, because now we're kind of in this bubble where people say like, oh, I'm going to try something for a week and it didn't work for me, Greg. This thing doesn't work. My social media followers aren't following me. They're different. You don't know my situation. I don't have money. A week. But in order to actually have mastery and success in anything, what I love about what you shared, Greg, is you need to know there's a process. You need to know that you're going to suck before you get superb. You know, Greg, I mean, how many conversations do you think you had before you finally tapped into those leaders that were networkers? If you were to guess.
Oh my gosh. Tens of 10,000, I don't know, thousands. We talked to thousands and thousands of people. And so a lot.
This is
a
huge.
lot.
That's what it takes to have mastery. Guys, I hear this. Everyone I talk to is not interested. How many people did you talk to? 10. 10,000 versus 10. It's like it's so different. But I wanted to hone in on this, Greg, because I think it's missing in today's generation of business. But if we can take these old school principles, and obviously you're not doing the same thing now. Fast forward. What's interesting now is, Greg, you just came back from Japan again, PartnerCo relaunch, and you're kind of in a similar phase. Tell us about that. What was it like going back to Japan this time in this phase?
Right. So we have, just so everybody knows, Japan is on, my group in Japan was on the old Miranda plan until June of this year.
Oh, wow.
And so they've kind of been in the past. And we've all been running PartnerCo for a year and a half with John and Darren. And prior to that, we were another company name that I won't drop here, but we were on a different pathway. So Japan has been kind of behind. And I've been working with them over the past year, getting them ready for transition. And so I go there, this last trip, and it's game time, right? It's happening. The computer's switching over Gen 1. And we did hours and hours of training. We had groups and groups of people that are excited again, that want to learn and know what this new opportunity is all about, what the comp plan is all about. They still identified themselves kind of as Miranda. Wow. And I've had to tell them, I'm like, guys, we are PartnerCo now. You want to be PartnerCo. There are thousands of people that have heard of Miranda that don't want to work at Miranda. They've already said no to Miranda, but there are tens of thousands of people that have never heard of PartnerCo. And so we've got to look forward. There's more in the future than there is in the past. And the energy there was fantastic. And so it is a little different for me. I mean, I am prospecting still. I'm working on new leaders in Japan. I'm not putting in, I'm not talking to 100 people a day on my clicker. I'm not in that stage right now. And I'd love to go do that again, by the way. I had a great time doing that. And just so you know, we did it skillfully. We weren't in people's faces, turning people off. We were friendly and we just shared. And if they weren't interested, we think, okay, thank you. We weren't, making a bad name for anything. But this time around, there are things that are extremely similar to last time. And this is what makes me so excited. Last time, when I went to Japan 25 years ago, we were a brand new company called Morinda. We had massive success or momentum, not quite hyper growth, but we were in momentum in the US. And we had a product that works with testimonials. What do we have today? 25 years later, we have a new company name, PartnerCo. We are a new company. We're brand new. We have a brand new compensation plan with new ownership. And we got products that work. We really have products that have science that's really transforming lives, we've got social media now. We can share our transformation stories online. We don't have to be pushy and sell stuff. We can just share our transformation stories. People will ask us, or we can communicate through the comments what's going on. So the conditions are right. Like it's a bit deja vu. It's like, wow, I'm feeling the same things here. We've got in the US right now, we're in great momentum as we were 25 years ago. We even have momentum in Europe right now. Europe's going crazy right now. The world is in a state of growth at PartnerCo. And I do want to share one more thing, James. This is interesting, maybe only to me, but I live in Utah. And if anyone here, and you may or may not be in the industry, I apologize to those of you who are brand new that may not know this, but Utah is kind of a place where a lot of network marketing companies are based out of. A lot of companies out of here. And I've been lucky enough to network with a lot of them, with a lot of their top leaders. And we are the Cinderella story in this industry right now. PartnerCo has defied all expectations. And the industry right now is in a state of transition. A lot of companies are a little bit wondering what to do. We are blowing the doors off. They are watching us. Nobody thought that Darren Zobrist, our CEO, who has no industry experience whatsoever, some new guy thinks he can run a network marketing company, and then a brand partner, John Wadsworth, who's never been in corporate before. These two guys think they're going to run a network marketing company. They're crazy. It's not going to happen. And so everyone just kind of sat back and waited, like, okay, well, this will last for maybe 6 months. Darren will run out of money and this won't work. That's not what happened. Complete opposite is what happened. These guys, John is I tell you how we worked in Japan in 1998. We worked all day. That was us following John. That was him. Like, we're like keeping up with that guy. He did the same thing with Darren, with this company in the past year and a half. They've traveled around the world so many times, built the relationships necessary. Darren knows business. So this company right now has an incredibly good reputation. We went from, like, these new guys aren't going to pull this off, to, holy cow, PartnerCo, look at them. They're growing. They're growing in all these markets. Japan just converted over, and we had 700 people at this pre-launch meeting, and we could have had 1,500, but the room was sold out. So we had to Zoom the rest of the people in. I mean, that is from a month's worth of promotion to this, and then we got our full PXP coming in October. That's sold out in 5 hours, and so we've got to find a bigger venue. So that timing piece is why I had that hyper growth in those first few months in Japan, and that is the condition that's happening right now with PartnerCo. And so it's kind of, there's a parallel thing happening here. And, if you want to take full advantage of it, right now is a good time.
Whew. Ready. Guys, we just got, I feel like Greg came back almost from the future saying, guys, this just blew up. This is what you're seeing right now. Like the coast is clear. And it's very rare to land upon an opportunity that's the right conditions in your entire life. I believe the average is maybe 2 or 3 maximum. Most people sleep on it. I saw someone put in the chat, I knew I've known you before and I slept on it. No longer. This is something even better. And Greg, I just so value our relationship. I value your wisdom because you've been there, done that. This is not guessing. This is not theory. This is for reals. And if you're excited, I'm just coachable. I'm like, all right, put me in. Let's go. So I guess my last question would be this for now, Greg. Now times are different. You have amazing teams all over the world, out here in North America as well, too. We do have technology. We do have social media. We have everything combined together with the company. What do you think if we did with the same intention of what you, John, everyone else did 25 years ago, but with modern conditions of PartnerCo, the products, social media, just everything, like that intention, what do you think might happen in the next couple of years?
So we have a lot of good indicators right now. As I went over, a lot of things are lining up for a similar outcome. PartnerCo, Darren's not going to stop until we hit $1 billion in sales. But he doesn't even want to stop there. He's got much higher sights than that. And so we're just getting started right now. And I want everyone to know, you don't have to do what I did to be successful in this business. You do not have to spend 12 hours a day on a train in Tokyo building a portfolio of cards that you got to call it. I mean, you don't have to.
Hey, by the way, who here would love to do that? Who here got like a little excited by that? You're like, come on, like let's go, right? But yeah, back to you, Greg.
So and again, that was not very effective. So just encouraging anyone to do that. But what was effective was we knew the timing was the time to do it is now. This is the time. If you're going to ever do this business, if you're ever going to take control of your life, there's not a better time than right now. The Zoom invite that you sent me, James, it said how to build a network marketing business while managing family and all that stuff, right? And for a lot of us, we've got family, we've got other responsibilities. We're not 25-year-old single people that can just spend 3 months and never stopping. That's not practical for the vast majority of us. Now, if you choose to do that, I recommend that you give your wife or husband a warning and say, look, this is happening. And there are people that do that, and I'm not against that either. But I did tell my wife, I said, look, this next year, 2 years it's go time. And I will be at home as much as I can, but we've got to be prepared and we got to work together and know that the next few years is critical for the rest of our legacy business that we're building together. And so it's not been easy. I've had we've had some rough times where it's like, where are you? And that hurts. But I've been able to figure out a way to manage that. And, going to Japan, going to, right now I've got a great group growing in the US that I'm traveling a lot for, but we're making time for each other at home as well. And so it's right now there's no better time than right now to work hard where there's energy and momentum. You can get taken up into the middle of that. And I have done extremely well with my business. My Japanese friends that I brought into this business or through them, they do better than me. And that's great. That's fantastic. I want them to perform and earn more than me because that's job security for me. So it's a group effort. It's you keep going. Don't give up after 2 months. There was a moment at 2 months where John and I looked at each other and were like, what are we doing? Like, we got nobody. And if you take all those hours we put in, if we, that could have been easily 6 months, but had we had a regular job, or, we separated those hours out. So my feeling is right now, if you're going to do this, if you've been in network marketing, or if you've been interested in network marketing, there's no better place than PartnerCo right now. I mean, there are good companies out there still, but right now, PartnerCo, we've got the products, we've got the leadership, we've got young, ambitious leaders that are committed to long-term legacy success, and we've got timing on our side. The timing is the one thing that we can never control. That is something that's just either it's here or it's gone. We got a year or two of this great timing for us in this company. You can be successful outside of that perfect timing window, but it's not as easy. So right now is the time.
Wow. Guys, who here is ready? This is your time to participate in this growth. Put a me in the comments below. You talk about timing as we close things out, Greg. You talked about you had around 5 months to build towards a launch. We right now have around 90, 120 days until our like the next part of the launch. PXP is a North America convention, September 20th to 22nd. Many of you are coming with us. If you don't have a ticket yet, be sure to grab them if they're still here. Talk to your person that connected you here. But you have time to make a story here. You can be the next Greg. You can be the next John. You can be the next stories. That's what we're looking for right now. We have the systems in place, the products in place, the infrastructure in place. We just need to know who's ready to raise their hand and say, let's go do this. What do I need to do? So if that's you, get back to the person that connected you with this. It's super simple. Grab a $30 membership, try some of the products, and we'll go hand in hand on this. And Greg, one last thing we got to talk about real quick is it's a really good time because you get a ride with what the company's going for. We have an event coming up this Monday where we're going to be talking about something real cool that I got to share. But what's got you excited about this Monday with this launch of Renew?
Oh my gosh, James, this product. So I've been bragging about Noni Juice, right? Noni Juice transforms lives, and it does. But what it doesn't do is you don't feel it like the very first few days. It takes 3 to 4 weeks for that to really start kicking in. Renew, you can feel that. Like, people feel this within the first day, sometimes 2 days. Like, you get an immediate result. And the flavor change for this product, right, that's coming out on Monday, it's a game changer. Like, how many of you have tried the Renew, the old Renew, and had a bit of a taste allergy to it? Did anyone get used to it? I actually got used to it, so I'm kind of okay with it. But when you hand that to somebody brand new, and I mean, my brother called me, he's like, what did you just give me? I mean, this is worse than Noni. I don't know if anyone's had Noni. Noni's not great either, but this takes it to a whole different level. And he's like, I'm not drinking that. His wife's, I'm not drinking that. But we've got this product that's going to, this new Renew taste is incredible. I'm so stoked because this is going to turn things faster, because you get results that quick. You get someone trying Renew, day 2, day 3. Okay, let's get you, let's get on subscription. Let's get it free. I mean, this product's incredible. So I'm excited, James.
Get registered, guys. Bring everyone to this. I'm like ahead of time. It's not in this next Monday. It's 2 Mondays from now, but it's going to pass by really, really fast. Why does it have to taste so bad? It's a healthy product, but they made it better. So, and it was still a very good product. So it tastes amazing.
James, because the company's name that I won't say didn't flavor it the right way. So we've got it fixed now. It's fixed, and it will go. The old stuff's fine. Yeah. The new stuff is going to be incredible.
Yes. PartnerCo way. So with that, guys, there's a lot that's happening. Get back to your friend immediately and talk to them about what the next steps are. Greg, thanks so much, man. Even being jet lagged and stuff, for being on here today.
You bet.
I'm fired up. Guys, feel free to give Greg your thank yous. Have an